Now, last week, Newsnight ran a piece by our diplomatic editor, Mark Urban, on Saudi Arabia's richest businessman, Waleed Bin Talal. He was, you might remember, incarcerated as part of the anti-corruption drive in the kingdom. In Mark's film, we heard from someone who'd been in video contact with him, for the Saudis, in fact, and who said he didn't look well. He was a different man and even was twitching. Well, things moved on fast after Mark's piece. Waleed Bin Talal was released over the weekend, and just before that, he even appeared in a video suggesting he'd been well looked after.
I feel at home, so no problem at all here. Everything is fine, and what triggered this discussion between me and you really is really all the rumors that appeared, and on the BBC especially. You saw that, which really upset me a lot. And it's all lies, frankly speaking. All lies. You know, I've been always, all the time here at this hotel, and everything has been fine. And all these rumors really upset me.
Okay.
I mean, because now they went so far.
Which rumors in particular?
Well, you know, I read about them, and I saw them on BBC and others saying, you know, the guy that Waleed was sent to some other place, you know, the main prison, and that he'd been tortured. And you read about that. It's all lies, you know. I mean.
There he was saying he was well treated. Here he is, just 2 days after his release. He's arriving at work to applause. Well, is it a coincidence that Prince Bin Talal was released soon after we ran our item? Maybe not. We've heard suggestions that there was a link. I'm joined now from Cairo by Hugh Miles, a journalist who specialises in the Middle East and has done extensive research into corruption in Saudi Arabia. Well, Mr. Miles, what do you think was going on last week with the sequence of events?
Well, I think that BBC Newsnight was instrumental in getting Prince Waleed bin Talal released. I think that the Saudis were reacting to the report. They were surprised, they were shocked to see the Newsnight report. I don't think they had any plans to release him beforehand. And they realised that something had to be done, because otherwise this news report was going to dominate the news cycle, and Davos was going on. The Saudis are keen to get investment. Mohammed bin Salman is planning a visit to the UK and the West. And this Newsnight report really stung them, because it showed that Prince Waleed bin Talal, one of the most high profile of all the detainees, the one with all the international connections, was being abused in detention.
What did you make of his protestations that, in fact, he had been quite well looked after?
Well, I don't think they're at all credible, frankly. You know, I think the BBC Newsnight report last week got it all right. I think the Saudis wheeled out Waleed bin Talal in order to try and show and convince the world that they're not torturing detainees, that they're not doing a big shakedown and taking all the assets of all the businessmen in the kingdom. But I don't think that Waleed bin Talal's video was credible for a number of reasons. So it was a performance. It was propaganda, if you like.
And it's important to the Saudis to show they're not mistreating business people, because they still basically want investment in the country, presumably.
They desperately want investment. They need foreign investment in order to make the Vision 2030 plan a success. If they don't get foreign investment, it will fail, and the country will face very serious economic problems. So yes, they need to try and keep the investment coming, and this purge has done a lot of damage to their international reputation. I mean, ironically, like some of Mohammed bin Salman's other plans which have gone wrong, like the Qatar crisis and the Yemen war, this has actually been quite self-defeating, I think, this purge, because it has really damaged investor confidence in Saudi Arabia. I mean, who would want to put their money into such a system as this that treats businessmen in this way? So it's an attempt to try and rectify the self-inflicted wound that they have, that Mohammed bin Salman has done to the Saudi economy.
How secure is Mohammed bin Salman? Because you say he's made a number of mistakes. He appeared to be entrenching his power by locking up so many princes in the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, where does it leave him? It appears to be winding down now, the anti-corruption drive.
Well, the problem is that the anti-corruption drive is backfiring on multiple levels, like his other projects. I mean, one is, as I mentioned, it's not going to get anywhere near as much money as planned. I mean, it's very difficult to get back foreign assets, like the Gaddafi assets, the Mubarak assets, and the really valuable assets are outside the kingdom, and he's made very little progress in getting hold of those. So that's one problem with the purge. But the other problem is that the royal family, who should be his allies and helping him, have now been alienated. They're all in shock. And now Saudi Arabia is a revenge culture, and all the royal family have been affected by what's happened because they're all intermarried, and now they will want revenge against Mohammed bin Salman. And there's a history to this in Saudi Arabia. King Faisal was murdered by his cousin in a revenge killing, and we have already seen signs of the royal family wanting to take revenge. And Mohammed bin Salman is good at locking them up. He was locking them up before the Ritz-Carlton. We knew that there was a Saudi program to arrest Saudi dissidents in the West for a couple of years before this. Prince Sultan bin Turki bin Bandar, Saud bin Saif al-Nasser have all been disappeared for a long time. So he's trying to keep the royal family down, but they will strike back, and they could strike back at any time. And there's another problem with the purge,
Mr. Miles, really briefly.
Yeah, which is that he has undermined his legitimacy, because the Saudi government for a long time has presented the royal family as the true rulers of the country, and this has been the government message. And now the royal family have been treated like criminals, which is very damaging to the regime's narrative.
Thank you ever so much. And if Waleed bin Talal, or indeed Mohammed bin Salman, would like to come on, we would welcome them at any time.